Okay, well, we're here. It's Locals Day at Underground. So if you're in Summit County, we expect to see you at the Riverwalk. You have to get your
Mhm.
tickets either online on undergroundsnowboards.com or in person at the shop. But they have 6 movies for tonight.
Yep.
So should
I'm
be a
pretty
good
excited
time.
about those.
Yeah, you're going to get Particle from Rome, Force Majeure from Battalion, Glow from Capita. Jeremy Jones has a movie, Colorado Soiree, which is the Locals guys. And
Mhm.
then there's one other movie, which I'm not too sure what that is. So,
Yeah,
so that should be a good time. And I went snowboarding this week.
he did. I'm going tomorrow. We're going tomorrow, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what we've got going on. Then we'll have the wheel back next week. We do have a poll in the chat if that's your thing, and basically it pretty much coincides with what we just talked about. Have you gotten out yet this year? Yes, no. White Ribbon of Death Crusader, fighting now juggalos. Whoop whoop. That should have been Snow Juggalos. I got a little
Yep.
excited. My S key sticks on that computer. Too much porn looking, I guess. I don't know. Actually, that computer hasn't been updated in 3,248 days.
We're getting there.
Oh,
Almost.
that computer's going to blow up at some point. It's going to be hilarious.
We need to make it to 3,600 at least.
666, just right across the board. That's what I want. I mean, it's a 2012 MacBook Pro, so doesn't really owe me anything there. But yeah, so if you got questions, let's get them in the chat box. We're going to try to answer them. Remember, Black Friday is coming up at the end of the month. And if you're looking for more content to consume, down in the description, we got full movies, video parts, and even some like tech features and stuff. So there's a video from the bomb hole on a tour of the mothership. There's a video from Tribute Board Shop. Shout out to the boys up in Nelson. Mark Fawcett goes to the Union Factory in Italy. And then there's a video with Jay Stone building a K2 Alchemist. So figure that's some good content there for you to watch, plus the cultural mystery link of the week. So, All right. Starting off the week, it's our boy Letters with the super chat. Out of the ordinary binding recommendation for a ride war pig. Rad Dad, bum knee, off trail chop busting, something from Nitro, Mercury, make wheel go burr. Well, if he's got a bum knee, the Nitro will have more, it'll dampen more underfoot. So like if you go with like a team or which the team or the one would be the two that I'd put on there. But realistically, like he might be stoked on a Battalion Astro ASIM just because that foot pad is really damp too. So I don't know. What do you think, sir?
I mean, out of the ordinary, I would think like possibly even going like a Phantom if you really wanted to go just the utmost where you're getting that air cushion in there and everything. It might be a little bit stiffer, but I mean, I think it would still pretty much serve you justice, and it's not going to let your knee wander too much because there's not as much of that lateral play to it. So I'd say that one, or even like a Katana Pro, like where you're going to get that dampening in there. It's going to cut down on all that chatter, and you're still going to get a nice response to it. It might be a little bit overpowered for the pig, but still, it's going to help out, especially being a rad dad. I think it'll keep you a little bit more in line.
Yeah. And from the old man Gringo Brian, do air blaster beat suits make you look bald and fat, or is that just me? Hashtag 17 days to shred time. That's a skill issue on your part. Don't worry. When we finally get a him sponsorship, we'll get you a special promo code, and TC will come over and massage it into your scalp, and we'll see if we can get it to regrow. Shout out to Brian at Fortunato Chocolates. If you want some delicious chocolates, I'd strongly recommend checking out Fortunato Chocolates.
Yep.
All right. From Michael Jackson. Which board is better suited for Mount Baker POW? Aeronaut or Mercury? Rocker and Mercury or more setback inserts in the Aeronaut? Have to choose one. Also, wild card, Black Snowboard to Death can only bring 2 decks. I mean, personally, from living up there, I'd go with the Aeronaut. That's just me. You want that board that's just going to push through that Cascade concrete better. Or the black. Realistically, I'd probably go with the Black Snowboard to Death. That's probably
naturally, yeah. I mean, if I were to go with the Mercury, I'd probably go up about 2 sizes on it just to get all of the float out of it that I'd be looking for, honestly. Like, I would ride like a 62 or something like that in that board just because I don't think it's got the greatest float. Sure, out here in Colorado, it'll float no problem for you. But like you said, with that concrete, you're going to want that setback and a little bit of taper in it.
Yeah. So,
Mhm.
all right. Lady Dean Landia, would you ever ride the now famous slippery green hill of Copenhagen? And what board would you use? Hashtag Burton Lovenbredden, hashtag AEOA, hashtag ride slides. Skate banana all day. All day. Lean back, power wheelies down the green slide of death. Would you go ride the green slide of death?
I'm unfamiliar with it. What is it?
I don't really know too much about it. I guess it's a
Okay.
fake slope that you can go down. So,
Oh, it's one of those like Buck Hill in Minnesota, like made the US's biggest green slide type of shit like that too, where you could just see grass coming through it.
yeah.
But I don't want to go on any of those bristle things. Like, one, destroys your board, and then two, you have to like wait to once you go up, you got to wait to go down. Otherwise, like it'll totally just melt the bottom of your board. And I've seen it before, and it's like that board's toast.
Oh, see, I rode a lot of the bristle shit at Woodward when it first opened. If anything, it was
Mhm.
just like aggressively brushing your board. It
Oh,
wasn't
really?
bad.
It just takes all
Yeah,
the wax out?
I would pull the wax out. Well, you want to spray it down with, so they would do a water and silicone mixture.
Okay.
And as long as it was lubed up, you had no problem with it. If it got dry, it get a little scrapey, but it never ruined the base of any of the boards I used. So
Okay.
in that, but the bigger thing is when it's outside, I guess it's like octagon shape and there's holes in it. They're
Mhm.
notorious for like breaking fingers.
Oh, I
Like
could
you
see
just
that.
can't.
Yeah, you fall on your fingers and
I
fall
talked
on
to a
you.
bunch of Brits that were telling me the dry slopes are just like the finger manglers, dude. And so I
Yeah,
was like, yeesh.
I could see that for sure.
So, that's one of those things you got to kind of worry about. All right. Let's see. We got Andy Bestaller. Hi, guys. I'm glad I got a LibTech Doughboy, but I'm worried about the lift line. Is there anything I can do to protect the deck from oversliding skiers? Throat punches to all of them. Actually, what you do is you just go sideways and stand on your heel edge and with your foot behind you and just go, guys, I got a prosthetic leg. And you just push through with that giant ass board. Ain't nobody getting up on you.
It's true.
TC's seen me do the
Or
prosthetic leg.
I have a lot. Or you just take it back to like 2020 and just yell 6 feet at everybody and just wear like a mask and just yell 6 feet and keep them away, and that'll work.
Might. I don't know. Brain worms. All right. Saulons. 3 boards and 3 bindings. What do you put on what? Rome Party Mod, Spring Break Resort Twin, Ride Warpig, Rome Katanas, the new Union Force, and the Strata. As Spring Break Resort Twin is a daily driver, Party Mod is a Park Street, and the Warpig comes out randomly. Thank you. Well, I mean, it's pretty easy with that one. It's like Party Mod gets the Katana, Spring Break Resort Twin gets the Force, and the Warpig gets the Stratas.
Ooh, I would have went different with it.
Oh,
I would have went Party Mod with the Stratas because you're taking it in the streets. You want that extra side to side movement there. And then Resort Twin, I would go with the Force, and then the Katanas would get the Warpig.
yeah.
That's what I would do.
Ugh. Letters wants to know, are the boys fat pants sagging with Mad Steez today? No, I'm butt
not.
rocket in the free world.
Yeah. No
I'm gonna
fat
go listen
pants
to
for me.
some music later. Ugh. And then we got a J Sage. Leave the snow juggalos alone. They have space aids, and like butt stuff. I mean, you're not wrong. Just when you hear that whoop whoop and the hatchet man comes out of the trees, the next thing you know, you're on the ground bleeding. You've been warned. Snow juggalos will get you. So, yeah. All right. Ooh, I like this one from Hilux Shred. What are your top 3 snowboards to boost you to the moon? What do you have?
I'm going Aeronaut, Beyond Metals Battalion, and then the last one, it probably the Megadeth, honestly, because that thing will go to the moon when you load it up. So those would be the 3 that I got. What do you got?
Super DOA, K2
Mhm.
Hypnotist, and I'm thinking the Ride Algorithm.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
So those are 3 in their honorable mention. Solomon Huck Knife Pro.
Yeah.
Okay. And we got this super chat PSA from Eric Klein. I'm going to have some excess good furniture to give away in Summit County early next month. What's the best way to let people who need it know? Well, if they're watching this and you need furniture, get a hold of Eric. Otherwise, Facebook group, One Man's Junk. Going to deal with a bunch of fucktards, but that's probably the best way you can do it.
Yeah.
Slightly above Craigslist, even though those people on One Man's Junk are a lot more hot and horny. So
that's true.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Okay, from Joe Gunn. Is there anything going down the day before or after Thursday? Thinking about making my day trip into a 3-day trip. I think everyone meets up on Wednesday before Thursday to shred copper. And then I think a bunch of people are doing something on the Friday after. And I know Wednesday night, typically we do dinner at Castaways in Breck. So it should be a good time. Rangoons for all. That way everyone can go be gooning, which was hilarious. Yeah, I got a funny story about that today. So I dropped off food at Underground for Locals Day. So I brought him a bunch of bao buns, some Spam Masubi, and an order of Rangoons. And so like Parker and Kyler and all of them are in the back eating Rangoons. And I like pop around the corner. I'm like, you guys gooning? And Parker is just like, and I was like, spitting. And I just left. And they're like, what? He's just pretending to be one of these new kids talking the stupid shit. And I was like, well, if you make it sound that stupid from an adult, they'll stop doing it.
That's true.
But they were like, we are gooning in the back. All right, let's see. Ian Patterson, Bullet Train review when? Let me see. I can tell you right now. If yeah, that's probably not coming out this month, maybe next month. That one. It's not on the list of to-do stuff that I've got Ben doing. All right. And our boy Cam. Hello, boys. How we doing? Hope all is well. The backyard bark park is open. We got almost 2 feet. Ran into this man on Monday up at A Basin. Him and his friend Jairus. And they were like, we've never been here. This view is amazing. And I'm like, we're not even technically mid-mountain. Like this is literally below halfway to the top. I'm like, good view. But yep, made a lap with him. All right. Ted G, Randy and Tuna Christ, is the new C8 noticeably different from last year? New strap.
New strap and new toe strap and new high back. Yeah.
Yep.
I think so. I think the toe strap's way better this year than it was in previous years.
Ooh, here we go from Allie. I'm planning to spend next week in Summit County. Which resort has the best white ribbon? We got 30-something inches this past week. Breck opens tomorrow, and it sounds like they're going to have 5 or 6 runs. And looking at the snowmaking from my living room, like peak 8 is a friggin' cloud because they're just blowing so much. Copper, I think, has 7 runs. A Basin has 1. Keystone might open more. If you got an Epic Pass, you can kind of just bounce between Keystone and Breck. If you got Icon, you can go ride the short white ribbon of death at A Basin, but Copper will be better. All right. From Tibby TT, watching the tributes tour the Union factory, it looks like Union will be doing step-in bindings. I can't see Union's core customer being step-in riders. I can.
Depends.
I can see people that are doing it. Yeah. So anyone, if you watch the video, which the description's in there, if you freeze frame it, you can definitely see them in the background. That's all I'm gonna say.
The worst kept secret in the industry.
Oh my god, they're trying to be like, we're trying to be stealthy about it. I'm like, it's literally fucking right there.
It's right there.
Like one of the union guys was like, where did you hear that rumor? I was like, someone told me they saw it on Reddit, and they're like, and I was like, once it hits the internet, guys, you can't reel that back in.
No.
So okay, we got Return of the Shred guy. Tell Rod to bring back the Timeless. Buy a commissioner.
Yeah. It's just a lighter Timeless, pretty much, with better materials.
All right. From our Rainer 00, saw the new top 5. Which is more aggressive, the Battalion Chameleon or the Battalion Beyond? They're kind of like even with each other, I guess. The Chameleon has a different flex pattern than the Beyond Metals, but realistically, like, you're splitting hairs. Not that much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, okay. From Jonah Childs, what's the difference between the Nitro Team Pro and the Beast? I feel like it's the same kind of rider, but can't differentiate which to buy. The Beast is stiffer than the Team Pro.
It is. It's slightly stiffer, and it's a directional, or the Team Pro is a directional twin. So,
yeah. That's kind of the big points. Like the Beast has like a higher camber in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you lay that flat, you can see the arc of that camber goes higher.
Yeah. I mean, it is a very similar rider, and you're splitting hairs on which one to get. But, like, I mean, the Team Pro going to be more all-mountain versatile for sure, but they both have really good pop and good edge hold. So, like, yeah, very similar rider. The Beast is pretty much a different level, I would say. Like, that one goes in the same category as, like, your Tweaker Pro and your Huck Knife Pro and possibly even the Hypnotist. I haven't ridden that one yet, but I would imagine that's
honestly,
what it would
the
be
Hypnotist is probably it's slightly stiffer than the Huck Knife Pro.
Okay.
It's more approachable than the Beast. That's for sure.
Okay. I mean, when I got on that thing, I was like, yo, like, you go to push on that board, and when you step up with your other foot, you can feel the camber, like, pushing your foot up, actually. Like,
well, I watched you hit the bottom jump in Peace Park, and I was like, Jesus Christ, you were like 12 feet in the air. Like, you went straight up. You didn't even go out. You just went up. And I'm sitting there looking at this going, fuck me, man. He's never gotten that high before. And then, like, you came down right after the knuckle, and you were like, I kind of hurt.
Yeah, I mean, that board's really fun. It goes to the moon, but yeah, you have to be prepared and hit everything with speed, because that's just what it wants to do. Like, if you go into a jumper rail on that thing slow, it's not fun. Like, it kind of gets a little sketchy, especially on rails.
Yeah. All right. This is a me question from Ryan Hansen. Avern, I think I heard you drive a Volvo. Might be buying an XC60 tomorrow. I drive an XC90. Just FYI, if you're buying a Volvo after 2014, the electronics in them are shit, and they short out on them. And because everything is connected to that whole master computer, they have a ton of recalls. So if you're buying one and it's used, find out if you can get the service log and look at the service log and see what they've done. Literally, the last time I was at the Volvo dealership having them update my software and do stuff and some minor work on mine, the woman that was sitting next to me, they came out to talk to her, and they're like, we've got to replace your transmission because it's all electronic. And she's like, this is the third one. I've had this for 30 days.
Oh, my God.
And I looked at her after they left, and I was like, you need to tell them to lemon law that and give you a new one. And then they gave me one of the new ones. Well, they've given me multiple ones to take when they had to have my car overnight. But the scariest thing that ever happened to me was I was going down I-5 into Lakewood, and I was doing about 80 miles an hour, and the infotainment center is connected to everything in the car. It shorted out and turned off, and it turned the car off, and you have power brakes. So I had no brakes, and it locked the steering wheel. So I'm tapping what I have of the brake, and it's slightly pulling to the left. I thought I was putting it in the median, and I'm sitting there like basically trying to hit the start button to get it going, and it wouldn't go. So I punched the infotainment center as hard as I could, and it jump started back on. And I made it down to where I get off to go into Lakewood to go to the dealership, and it did it again at a light. And so I punched it again, and at that point, it set off all the safety sensors. So the auto brake feature was going off because it was registering a car 60 feet in front of me as right next to me, and then a car behind me was still like 20 feet back. It was registering that it was hitting me, and so the whole thing hopped all the way for 5 miles back to the dealership. And when I pulled in, I went in and I was like, yo, that car is fucked. And they're like, what? And I was like, every sensor's going off. It's doing this. It started doing this. And so the guy that I was dealing with, he's like, hang on a minute. And he goes, you weren't supposed to get that car. That thing is on a full recall. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And they're like, yeah. And so I started talking to people, and they were like, yeah, all the new infotainment center ones, they have, if the way it's wired up, it's just cheap electronics and shit, and it's all central. So if you have an issue with it, everything could be there. So you want to make sure that either you're under warranty with it or that, but like they talk about how convenient that infotainment center is. And I'm like, it's fucking not at all. Like, mine's like got numbers and knobs and dials and shit. And then I got shit on the steering wheel, fully loaded, 2012. Fucking stoked on that thing. Like, I don't have these problems. The hardest thing is pairing my phone to the Bluetooth. I can deal with that. So, yeah. And then our moderator, Jack Off Beat, letting everyone know the link for you chocolate fiends, fortunatochocolate.com. Check it out. Mm-hmm. Buy some chocolate.
It's good stuff. Love the dark chocolate.
Oh, dude, the s'mores are so good. Oh, my God. I could just eat those nonstop. Those things are so good. It's some of the best chocolate I've had. So we got Tim Hunt. Ride Benchwarmer is a Solomon Dance Hall to pair with a K2 Niseko Pleasures for a Japan trip. Dance Hall's going to have too much overlap with that Niseko Pleasures. Take the Benchwarmer.
Mm-hmm.
From Theodore Salagianis. I hope I pronounced that right. Dear Legends, would you consider the 22-23 Capita Navigator an all-mountain board or just a specific powder? It's a powder board.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a powder board. Okay, we got a super chat here from Jason Lawrence. Our last season's Union Force binding stiff enough for a 2025 GNU Bank Country. Saw you didn't like the Atlas Pros. Looking for something with a bit of cushioning. Thanks, because I personally yes, I think it's totally fine for the Bank Country. I think it's solid. And if you want a little stiffer, more response, you can go to the regular Atlas. It's just the Pros have that forged carbon cover sheet. You feel everything with that. So, you got anything to add to that one, sir?
Nope. No, I think that's great.
All right. We got Matt Emulsion. Hi, guys. Managed to get my mate a cheap Rome Warden, fairly new to this SMI. What bindings do you recommend? He's 6 foot, 82 kilograms, size 10 boots, and he has an emu sewn into his side. Crazy. I just slap some Rome Vices on it and call it a day. Maybe some Ride C6s. Union Force, can't go wrong with that. What else you got, sir?
Yeah, or like a K2 Bond, especially because it is his first setup. I would probably say something that doesn't have a whole bunch of moving parts on it, just because he's not going to keep that in his mind to check his hardware every once in a while until you lose something. Yeah, bent metal action would be a great one, or like a
Fix Nation.
Fix Nation would be great, honestly, because that's going to be nice and cheap. And he can ride those until he becomes that like advanced rider and then finally get something new. But yeah, definitely check out like a Fix Nation, or even, I mean, hell, he could even do a Magnum if you want to spend the extra money and it's not going to kill him.
All right. From Fuzzy Muffin the Third. Great name. Recommendation for hard charging board that's stable at speed on groomers. Well, we put out our top 5 free ride chargers. That's a great list to look at right there. I'll give you 8 options. 8.
Yeah.
8. That's better than me reciting it.
Yeah.
So Jack Marshall, whoop whoop. Can you make a Hatchet Man angry? No, fuck no. I'm not. No, not part of that cult. Waco, what is your main tip for finding sweet spots when going to a new mountain? Look for the guy that has the most duct tape. More duct tape, the more likely he's a local.
Yep.
See where he's going. Guy Incognito, I get the impression you guys don't like rocker boards at all. Is that true? Is there a rocker board that you don't mind? I've never tried one. Do they all suck? I don't know where you get that impression. I can give you a list. Dude, I own so many Arbor Westmarks. I think I had 11 of them at one point because I went through them. And that's full reverse rocker from the center in there. I love that board. That board's solid. I had a Rome Party Mod. That's flat to rocker. That board fucks too. Even the GNU money for the price is still all right. That might be C2 now. I might be thinking the GNU GWO actually. Yeah. So
I don't know. I wouldn't say I hate them. Is it my first choice for a board to ride? No, but like I mean, the Orca review dropped today, and that board rips in powder. Like having rocker and powder is a great thing, honestly.
Oh yeah.
Like especially
Karua Uber Egg.
Yeah. Yeah, you wrote in the same
unsinkable in POW.
Yeah.
Wouldn't ride a groomer with that thing though.
No, like
your effective edge is like this much.
If I'm going to rip groomers and stuff, I'd rather not have a rocker board. But I mean, it can be done. Like it's not that terrible of a thing. I've ridden the Brian
Even
Iguchi
the
Pro
Gangplank from Rome is good.
Yeah.
You know, like they're it depends on who's building it, what the shape of the rocker is, how much it is, how the side cut works, does it have edge tech, stuff like that. Like those are solid. It all comes down to how they like the Signal Park rocker, like not the old one that was like 45, but they had a more flat to rocker one that was really cool too, and I liked that, you know. But my theory on rocker is and reverse camber was we had to create something. We had to go to that to get away from camber, to revolutionize camber, to make it better.
Yeah.
So
it's got its place. I'll say that.
Regan Cowley, I still haven't forgiven you for not giving the Twin Pig a good enough. Well, fuck. Maybe if it was a better board. What?
I have always
the zero is better. Get a zero wide. Get a bench warmer wide. Fucking better.
I've always said that.
The kink is better. I'm gonna ride this kink starting next week.
I've always said that board needs carbon 3 in it, and it would be a much better board. Like it would keep it snap.
Get rid of it.
You could. I don't know why it's really here.
To exist, in my opinion.
Now that they have the bench warmer and the zero. Like before, I understand why they had it, because people wanted to wanted like a twin volume shifted, which is fine. And they didn't have the zero before. And then they had the Helix, which was just a very stiff asymmetrical board that not a lot of people could ride. Like, honestly, or not a lot of people needed that board.
Pain in the dick to ride.
Yeah.
You basically had to go at everything as fast as you could and then throw your weight into the nose. Didn't matter if you were turning or jibbing. It was just throw your weight into it as hard as you could. Yeah.
And now that they've revolutionized their line, added those boards, I don't think they need it anymore. I think it can go away. I think enough people know now that like the Twin Pig is a directional twin where you can still ride it switch the same. Like the War Pig is a directional twin that you can ride the same, where you don't need the Twin Pig anymore. It's just a waste of space in the line.
Just does not matter. All right. We got Tank E. What binding would be a good fit for my K2 After Black and Capita Navigator? I have some Atlases, but not a fan. Maybe you might like a K2 edition. It would work on both of those in there, and I think that's a really solid binding. Let's see. Maybe you want to get a little surfy with that Navigator. Go with the Solomon hologram.
Yep. I was even thinking like a Highlander, because that'll be stiff enough for the After Black, but you still get that.
Or even a District Team Pro.
There you go. I always forget that.
Because it's a quantum base with a team high back. Like
Yeah.
for the price, it's actually a better binding. Like it's a higher end binding with a freestyle high back. It's crazy.
Yeah. So that would be a great one for sure to go with. Or like even a Yes on Ink would be great on both of those. I don't think it's going to be too stiff or anything like that. But yeah.
Yeah. All right. We got Chad Cyrus. Thoughts on applying ceramic coating on top sheet for keeping the snow off? That might be a little overkill. Like, you want to know what works really good? Rain-X.
I can see that.
You spritz the wet Rain-X on, you wipe it down. It works great. If you're really dealing with heavy wet snow, spray some Pam on it and spray your bindings. Then it doesn't stick in your bindings. It was funny. I saw like Nidecker has been pushing the Supermatic. So on Instagram, they did a whole thing about it, and somebody's here. But they did a whole thing on it, and some guy, they were like, well, you could do this and this. And I was like, yo, bro, you got Pam cooking spray? Spray your binding right in there. It'll slide right out. Don't worry about it. And everyone's like, what? And I was like, trust me. And they're like, I'm going to try this. And I know that there's going to be all these people that see this comment. They're going to try it. And then they're going to be like, God damn, he's right. Because it does work. Like, that's what I had to do way back in like the 90s. Because living on the East Coast, it would just, from the Midwest, man-made snow would just pack in there, and you'd end up with this layer. So if you'd spray Pam, it wouldn't stick, and it was so easy to get in and out then of just a regular binding. So, come on in. Hey, buddy. We got a guest.
Nice.
Carlos, say hello to the crew.
What's up, y'all?
Hey,
For people that don't think he's actually my friend, and I just randomly interviewed him last week, but he's here. He's here. We're good, man. Why don't you go make yourself at home? There's a Gatorade above the sink if you need one.
I'll get a mint.
Yeah, do that.
Hydrate, baby.
Take her with you.
Right. Come on.
Get on there, you heathen dogs. Sorry. He literally flew in for Locals Day.
That's sick.
Yeah, he's like, I need to get out of New York City. I'm coming for Locals Day, and so then he's here for that, and he's going to opening day tomorrow with me. So I was like, hell yeah. Fuck yeah. Love that dude. So stoked on that. Which, if you haven't checked out the interview that we did with him last Friday, go do that and vote for his little movie in the True to You contest called Synagogue. And you'll help him out. He's a good dude. All right. We got a Super Chat TC question. If someone says the Orca is a daily driver, exactly how wrong are they? Go into it.
I mean, they're going to be really wrong. Like, I would say it's like taking like a Jeep Wrangler, jacking it up, putting mud tires on it, and then just say, I'm going to drive this thing across the country. Can you do it? Yes. Is it going to be comfortable? No. Are you going to get blown around like the whole time? Yeah. And that's what's going to happen with the Orca. When you're trying to turn that thing on groomers or even just try to keep it stable, it's going to want to just wander around and just pretty much just get beat up out there where you're just bouncing every which way. It doesn't hold an edge quite as well as you'd want. So, like, it doesn't make any sense to me to daily drive that, especially, like, getting heel to toe on that thing, great in powder. When you're doing it on a flat groomer, it's so wide that it really doesn't want to, like, that fast. So, especially when you're trying to take that thing on, like, cat tracks, you just feel the magnet traction trying to engage in random ass spots that you're like, that has no business doing that whatsoever. Like, the board isn't made for it. Like, you never see Travis Rice ripping that thing on like groomers or anything like that. You haven't seen Travis ride a groomer in probably at least 10 years since
the last time I saw Travis ride a groomer was when that dude filmed that video of him trying to catch him after natural selection when he was going through the resort. And he's like, and that poor guy was just dying trying to keep up with him.
Yeah, it's like that. Like, you don't need to daily drive that. I've had so many people come into like Powder Tools and be like, I need this board. You're like, dude, we haven't gotten snow in 2 weeks. That board's not going to be fun. And they're like, I just need it. And then they come back and they're like, yeah, this board's not what it's cracked up to be. And you're like, no shit. Like, it's not made for that. This is a board to throw in the quiver to just complement what you have. It's not going to replace your whole quiver. Try taking that thing in the park or off of jumps, and you're going to have a miserable time. And I'm sure somebody in the comments would be like, dude, I go off of jumps and I hit rails.
Oh, I do it all the time. Every time I have to ride that, I go fucking hit jumps and rails with it. But
Yeah,
at
sure.
the end of the
But
day,
it's a powder jump and it's a powder.
oh, yeah, you know what I'm doing. I'm
Yeah.
coming off the lip and landing on the transition on the side to get pow. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, like
And I have slid through a down flat down with it though, sideways.
okay.
And is it doable? Yes. Do I have a problem with doing it? No. Do I recommend people do it? Fuck no.
No,
Like,
I mean it is wide enough when you do slide it sideways. You're not gonna like dig into the
but
rail or
the
anything.
problem is you got the reverse into the camber.
Yeah.
So you end up under 1 foot or the other when you
Oh,
do
yeah.
it. Like, you know,
And that-
and it's a whole thing. And yeah, people don't understand that. I'm gonna take a few minutes, but I'll pop right back in.
Yeah,
if
no
that's
worries.
cool.
I'll keep us going.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, we're gonna keep on going, and we'll go until he comes back. We got a little Richard Haygood says, "Would you recommend the Devon Walsh for an intermediate?" I haven't ridden the board. I know Averin has said it is pretty aggressive. I probably wouldn't recommend it unless you're gonna know, like, hey, it might overpower me for a little bit, but I will grow into it. And that's what I would say is if just go into it knowing that it might kick your ass for a few runs or a couple days, and then you'll get the hang of it. I would recommend if you do it though, just detune those contact points on it, give yourself a fighting chance, and you might be all right on that. But we'll keep moving on, and we'll see what else we got going on. All right. Talking about that stuff. All right. We got one from Colin Gomez. Is the 2022 Rozzy Jibsaw a good all-mountain board? Upgraded for the first time in 14 years from a K2 Brigade 2010 first board. Yeah, I mean, the Jibsaw is a solid board for sure. It's not going to be overpowering or anything like that. It does hold an edge pretty well, actually, which really surprised me when I was riding it because I expected with that long rocker zone in the nose and tail, it wasn't going to hold an edge quite as well. But I mean, it'll handle all mountain. Like, especially if you're upgrading from another board, it's going to be so much better than that board that's 10 years or I guess 14 years old at this point, where I think it'll be totally fine for you. It'll handle all mountain. I mean, is it going to be the best all mountain board? But no, it'll pretty much just like handle everything for you in a decent capacity. It'll take it to the park. It'll take it to the mountain. Is it going to have the best float? Probably not, but you know, it'll work for you. No problem. All right. We got TA Ghostman 968. Recommendations for wax on East Coast conditions with the thaw freeze for a bigger guy. Seems like I trash wax, or seems like I trash a wax in one day, or is that SOP? I mean, it's just because like when you do get that freeze thaw, when it does thaw out in your riding, if you have that icy or that really cold weather wax on, it'll get pulled out from it thawing. And then when you do get on that super cold stuff later in the day, it just kind of burns the base on it. So it's tough, especially when it comes to like trying to put super cold wax on, because no matter what you do when you have that thaw, it's just gonna suck all of that wax right out of the base there. So I mean, honestly, you probably don't need that much wax. I would say probably try to get a deep structure in there for when it does thaw, because that structure will allow the moisture to wick right off. Then you can wax it. I would probably go with like an all temp and then like a graphite, which is a black, and that would last a little bit longer. Or what you do if you don't have the all temp, you take the carbon, which is the black wax, then you take the icy or like the dark blue wax, and then you take a yellow wax and you mix all three of them together, let it sit on there, scrape it. You don't have to scrape it that hard, especially if it is that cold or that warm, where it's just going to pull it out anyway. So that's what I would say. I like pearl wax. I really like the Jones all mountain, like all temp wax. It's like a clear wax. It works for me. It's plant based, so it's not putting all those bad chemicals back in. But that's what I would say. Possibly go check out a new structure and try to get that put in, and then you can keep waxing. But I mean, if you're on those icy conditions, you don't really need wax. It's not like you're going to use it that much. All right. So we got Zymurgi JWT. Got an old 2013 Jamie Lynn Phoenix 157. I want to ride more. What bindings should I get? Rad Dad with working knees. So the first thing is you're going to have to get a binding with either a medium disc or a regular size disc. You can't go with small disc because I don't think it'll work for a 2013. But I would go with like a bent metal, like Action, or possibly even stiffer than that for it. And then I would go with like something like a Rome Katana or even like a Battalion Astro full wrap if you want to go even stiffer, just because that Jamie Lynn's going to be full camber on it.
But he's got working knees.
He's got working knees. He's got working knees, but I want to keep those knees working.
So
I don't know what we.
Sorry, I had to go make sure Carlo's taken care of. After that, we're good. So
I just had a rant about wax for a while, so we're good.
Oh, good. I like where you're going with that. Yeah. All right.
But yeah, you got any recommendations? Because doesn't the 2013 have the wider set screws on it, not the 4x2?
The 4x2. It might. I can't remember off the top of my head.
I can't either.
Might be 2x2 or it might be 2x4. And I want to say you're probably right that it's 2x4.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So I was like, medium disc or bigger.
So, yeah. Cool. So I guess I'm picking questions now.
Yeah, you're back.
I'm back. So, okay. Well, we'll go with our boy Beziums. How did you manage to get Randy out of your house? A lot of fire and holy water. It's kind of like Castlevania. You throw the holy water, and then if that doesn't work, you throw the holy grenade with fire, like the Molotov.
The holy hand grenade.
The holy hand grenade. So, yeah, that's kind of how you go with that. I like this question from Theodore Salagianis. What is worse, wearing dope or riding Gilson? I thought those were like go hand in hand. You get the dope outerwear, you get the Gilson snowboard, then you probably pick up a Ruroc helmet, or like if you don't, it's some like knockoff Outdoor Master or Kuno goggles or some shit. Fry your eyes. Then you got your shitty fucking selfie stick while you shit turns.
Yep.
So, yeah.
If I had to choose, though, I would probably say riding a Gilson is worse. Because the people that own Dope Snow but don't ride a Gilson, they're normally renting from somewhere and they're getting an actual snowboard or an LTR. But they're actually getting a snowboard, and you know what? They just need some sort of thing that's not a trash bag, I guess, to keep them dry, is my reasoning behind it. Because there's just a lot of misinformed people out there with dope. I mean, you really have to go down a wrong path in life to go and physically buy a Gilson and spend that much money on that piece of shit. So that's what I'm thinking. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
I'm a cheap sack of shit. Like, and if I'm only snowboarding,
goddamn, TC's fired up today.
I had 3 espressos today, and I wasn't here last week. We had McClongo take over. So
yeah,
but yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, you really
went Randy show. 2 people that should never be in a live stream together.
Yeah. But like, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, you physically went out of your way to go and like buy that thing, where it's like, oh, I saw an Instagram ad and I'm going on a ski vacation or a snowboard vacation with my family or my in-laws or whatever. Like, I'll just buy this jacket. Who gives a shit? But like, you really fucked up if you're buying a Gilson.
Yeah. People that buy Gilsons, you kind of wonder if their parents might be kissing cousins. I'm just saying, like,
they're just dropped on their head as a kid, probably. It's not their fault.
They definitely ate paint chips.
Yeah.
Like, they taste like oranges.
Did you eat paint chips as a kid? Huh? Why?
From Barndon, survived Keystone opening day by keeping my head on a swivel. Is it common to have foot discomfort, light pain on the first day? Proven setup, but replaced old with new Remind insoles, same model. Dude, I had foot pain the first day. I'll have foot pain probably till day 5. Like, that's just your feet are just getting used to being in a restricted boot with different movements and stuff. You get used to it, you know?
Well, you're also using like arch muscles that you don't normally
Yeah.
use, especially when you're going on your toes. You might not feel it, but you're actually like digging your toes into that toe edge, and it's like you're flexing your feet a lot more than you think. So yeah, my feet are so sore after, like you said, like the first week probably,
Yeah.
and then it gets better from there on out. But
Yeah.
it's like it's
Once your
muscles you're
body
never
just gets
using.
used to it, then you're like, oh, this is the muscles. I mean, because all summer I was running around with Vans slip-ons or barefoot. And so like minimal arch support, if I was wearing anything. And now I'm like full blown in my snowboard boots. I'm in my winter boots, walking the dog, like I'm doing all that. It's fine. If after like 3 to 5 good days of riding, you're getting like a hot spot or something, then you might want to evaluate it. But really what you're doing is you're breaking in the new footbed and you're getting your muscles used to doing it. I wouldn't sweat it too much. Now, if it's crippling foot pain to the point you're pulling your boot off middle of the run, yeah, be worried. But
Yeah.
Mild discomfort, light pain, you're fine. It'll get better. All right. We got Bezium's. When are you announcing Black Friday details? It was on the to-do list. I just got behind on some stuff this week. I think I'll probably schedule some stuff for the Patreon and the community tab for Monday. And we'll have the outline of what we're doing for Black Friday, which right now it's one live stream from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., 6 hours. You guys are getting the 6-hour live stream. I've personally recorded 2 interviews for that, so we can break it up. We're going to get one with John Makins, the founder of Remind Insoles, talking about their new aftermarket liner, and then another one with Danny from Shred Foundation, so that we can pump up a good charity we believe in and try to get some of you guys donating to that cause over there, which there is a link in this description of this video if you want to do that. And then we'll figure out, we still got to kind of dial in what prizes are going to this. But things are looking good with that. Shout out to a couple of our sponsors, Blower Board Shop and Big Bear. One of our sponsors, Tactics Board Shop up in the Northwest in Sapporo, Japan. So we're getting everything dialed in with that, which we're going to have a bunch of gift cards to those shops for you guys to give away. We're going to try to give away a couple snowboards, different things, tons of stickers, tons and tons of sticker packs. So TC's been stuffing those nonstop.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We got packs on packs on packs.
Yeah. TC is now the sticker warehouse.
Yeah, I got like 600 in here alone.
Yeah. Yeah. That's which those turned out good. I might order more of those.
Yeah. Those turned out pretty nice.
So, and if you do want to buy stickers, just go to angrysnowboarder.com or angrysnowboarderstore.com, and both of those domains will lead you right to stickers, which we've got a ton of new ones that we just put up. And we actually now, instead of randomly just getting the old board breaker logo, you never knew what color you get. You can actually pick it now. So we finally got organized. We're getting there. So
We're a bunch of snowboarders. It takes us some time to get organized in life.
Ooh, I love this question from B Shreddy. What's faster, a fresh waxed extruded base or a race base with structure that never gets waxed? Race base. As long as you're keeping it clean, that thing will be faster. People were commenting on Monday about how fast I was going on the shadow band, and it's still got its original structure on it. It's never been waxed. No, it's never been waxed. I thought for a minute I might have put it over a roll waxer, but I didn't. That was just an edger. I got the edges. I took the reverse curl off the edge after 2 years. So, okay. From DeBarros, does the Vans Infuse have the same heel hold tech like the K2 Thraxis? No, not even close. Completely different companies. Which I've got to get. I've got a Thraxis boot breakdown. I got to finish filming, and all the Van stuff is done. I got to get those edited and get those out for you guys. All right. Our Rainer 00 had my first taste of Malort this weekend in Chicago. Why do I listen to a guy who doesn't drink and a guy whose cheeks are thunderful?
It's terrible, isn't it? It's terrible.
It's awful. It's fucking awful.
But I mean, if you're in Chicago, you have to do it.
I mean, it's a Chicago thing. Like, the only reason I even know what Malort is because Mick, one of the owners of Castaways, is from Chicago. And he, like, explained the whole thing to me. And I was like, this is hilarious. And then I decided to go to a demo with hidden Malort shots in the shot bag for the reps. And everyone's like, what the hell is Malort? And I was like, oh, have fun. And I just watched them be like, oh, God, Averin, give me something to get this taste out of my mouth. And everyone says it's like a different taste, like sweat socks and diesel fuel covered with dirt, or like moldy lunch meat and embalming fluid.
Yeah, to me, it tastes like old chew spit that's been sitting there for like a week and then you accidentally drank it. Like, that's what it tastes like to me. And every time you bring the shot bag to the demo, I reach my hand in and I'm like, fuck, I got a Malort. And you're like, you don't have to take it. And I'm like, it's the law. And just like pull my hand out, look at it, and there's a fucking Malort in there. And I'm like,
well,
every
my
time.
favorite was the time you reached in and you're like, that feels like a Malort. And I could see it. And I was like, that's not a Malort. I didn't want to say anything. And you're like, you like pull it out, you look at it. No, I'll there's any, and then you're like, well, that's the Malort. You're the only one that follows the law. Like, everyone else at this point's been Malorted by me. And they're like, do I have to? And I was like, no, you've done it like 4 years ago. Yep. But like when the new guys are there, they're like, they all look around and it'll be like Eli and Jay and all them. And they're like, do I? And Jay's like, you got to do it, man. That's the rules.
Do it.
You got to do it. You got to do that shot now, because then he won't give you a burrito later.
Yeah. And
he's like, what? They're always like, there's a free burrito?
Every time Burton asks for a Malort shot, or every time they ask for like, yo, can I get one out of that bag? You just hand them a Malort shot. Don't even like give them a chance to choose. I know you normally don't give them anything, but it'd be like, okay, here's a Malort shot. If you could take that without making a face, I'll give you a real shot. And it's impossible. Like, it is impossible to take a drink of that and not make a face.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care how big of an alcoholic you are.
I always think it's funny when Burton comes up and they're like, hey, bro, can I get something? And I was like, and I'll be like, yeah, wait, what brand do you work with, Burton? I was like, fuck no, I don't work with you. And they're all just like, they get so salty about it. And they're like, you won't give me anything. And I'm like, they were also like, can I get a burrito? And I was like, nope. And they're like, what? And I was like, this is for the players that work with us and have valued us, not the people that make us jump through hoops to give us a custom flying V. Like, fuck off. I don't care. No one wants to buy that shit. You know? All right. Jack Marshall, New Jones Mercury Bindings and the Ride Shadow Band need validation. Thank you, Lord Father, Averin, and Savant Jester TC.
Oh, yeah.
Give him this validation.
I love that setup when I wrote it. I was like, okay, I understand why Averin rides the Shadow Band. And I mean, the Mercuries are my favorite binding. So, yeah, you're going to have so much fun on that setup this year.
And to go back to the Volvo question from Ricardo Tapia, make sure your Volvo is made in Sweden, not China or South Carolina. Mine, like, swear to God, like, mine being made in Sweden is so much better than the one from South Carolina. And the ones made in China are questionable at best. All right. Okay, we got Stan Smith. Question. How does the Nidecker Beta compare to boards like the Karua Pencil, the Endeavor Archetype, the Nitro Dinghy, the Karua Dart, and the Amplid Kill Switch? The Beta, out of all of those, the only one that it's probably the closest to is actually the Archetype. Otherwise, Pencil is going to carve different. It's got a floppier nose. The Dinghy's volume shifted. Great board, but not it. Dart, not even in that category. Amplid Kill Switch, way softer. So
there you go.
Okay. From Luke DeVries, second-year rider, got a 23-24 battalion, whatever, with the 23-24 battalion fly bindings and some ride fused boots. Watched all your videos to help me buy the arms. Thank you, Avery. You're validated, dude. That's a solid setup for if you're getting into being an intermediate. So, yeah.
Be chill. Be chill.
Okay, from John Desheens. Any good carbon bindings that are worth looking into? Anything that doesn't sacrifice too much dampness, but still offers the performance of carbon? Oh, yeah, dude, you got options. So the Jones Apollo, that thing's solid. That's a really, really solid binding. I really, really liked that one. The Rome Cleaver has carbon infused in the base. And so that's really good. If you're looking for more like a carbon high back and lighter weight, then you could go to the Black Label because you're still going to get that carbon infused base, but you're going to get an ASIM wrap over a full wrap. So with that ASIM wrap, you're going to get more play. What else? I'm trying to think. There was one that I was
A10.
Yeah, that's another
A10.
one.
I mean, you're not getting the dampness of the sea in there. It's gonna be nice and stiff for you too. So A10 was the one that came to my mind instantly. They're not making the C10 anymore.
Yeah. So what? I'm brain farting on one, and I want to say no because Nidecker got rid of it. The Drive. Was it? They renamed it the Airmaster now, isn't it?
Yeah, the Airmaster Extreme.
Extreme.
Yeah.
Airmaster Extreme bind. The highest end yes binding. I know that one.
Yeah, that's the Airmaster Extreme then.
Yeah, there's that, and then I can't think of anything else that really sticks out. But you got a few options.
Solomon Quantum.
Oh yeah, it does have that carbon in it too.
High back, yep.
Yeah. Cool. From Dylan Costanzo, whatever happened to the Rome Degenerati line? Is Degenerati a totally separate company? I have their M2 and always thought it was a special Rome. So it was like this offshoot for 2 seasons and it didn't really take off. It was supposed to be for like core shops and then the company got bought by Nidecker and I think that they were like thinning the line. And so there was like a few things going on there. But the Degenerati line was really cool. I liked what it was about, but it just it didn't take off the way they wanted. From Daffy Drunk, thinking about a twinish rocker board, all boards camber to date, ride and switch 50%, mostly all mountain, dabbling in the park, board Midwest, Utah, and Colorado, 6'2", 200 pounds, size 11. Binding choice. Cheers. Well, you should look at a party mod from Rome. That's a good one from there. As far as a binding choice, Katana or Katana Pro, if you want like a little stiffer underfoot, that's my 2 suggestions for that. What do you have?
Are they still making the Westmark in a rocker?
Yeah.
Okay. I would probably say that then. Or I don't know if I would honestly recommend going straight rocker board for somebody who's been on like a full camber board. I would say maybe get like a World Peace by K2 and go with the flat option. That'll still like have you dabbling in the park and everything. And that way it's not going to be too big of a switch up for you.
Well, otherwise, if you want something cool that's flat, Dinosaurs Will Die Holtz.
Yeah.
Because it's flat, it's a mid-wide, so your size 11s will fit on that just fine. And not everyone's going to have it, and it's flat.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what like GNU or LibTech board would be good for him, but
most of that full reverse stuff they have is super soft and just
that's I was like even trying to come up with something with like a C2X in it for him that's gonna be good, but I'm like the Travis Rice Pro is I think it's an overrated board. Like,
yeah, no, that one's not anything special.
I mean, I guess
even going to a C3 wouldn't be bad, like a C3 camber profile, because it's not full camber. It's going to have that hinged flex point in the middle, and
yeah, like a TRS would be sweet.
That's stiff though. That's a little burly.
It is stiff.
But I'm trying to think. Well, like there's the C3. There's the Money C3.
There is
from GNU, so that would be another good one too. All right, moving on from Return of the Shred Guy. Next week's experiment. Will my 11s fit on a 161 a ride algorithm with a 25.7 waist and work? We will see. Unless they're super chonky, you're going to be fine.
Yeah, I was just thinking, depending on what style boot, if you have a ride or a K2, your money.
Yeah, you got a Vans or a 32 or a Deluxe, you're probably going to boot out.
Yeah.
Okay. From Enderlicht. Hey guys, I'm trying to decide between the Stronda Mackerel and the Stronda Tree Surfer to complement my Jones flagship 164 size 11 boots. 210, we could get the Mackerel. The tree surfer will have too much overlap on your flagship. Get the mackerel. You will thank me so much on that, especially on like a 8-inch POW day when you're just surfing that thing. That board is amazing. Okay. CP Goimi, what do you all think about the Captain Mercury versus DOA for playful all mountain riding? I mean, I'd rather ride a Mercury than a DOA any day of the week.
Yeah, but if I'm going playful all mountain riding, I'm going to Spring Break Resort Twin over the DOA 100%. Like
yeah,
like that's what I'm
honestly, the middle ground between the Mercury and the DOA, get the Spring Break Resort Twin.
Yeah,
I think
it's just better all mountain than the DOA is, and it's not as stiff as the Mercury is. It's like a Midwest Mercury.
Good playful tips. Plus, it's a true twin. So
that's what I would recommend. I mean, your Mercury will be fine if you size down on it and get about 50 days of season on it. It'll start to soften up and get nice and playful for you. But right out of the wrapper, go with the Resort Twin. Stay away from the DOA.
Even get an indoor survival.
Yeah. But stay away from the DOA.
All right. Bowen Hudnall. Should I keep sharpening, deburring my edges every wax every 3 to 5 days? Or, oh my God, that's overkill.
No.
Like, dude, I sharpened my edges once after 100 and something days on my shadow band.
I get sharpened once a year for slash and burn. And then after that, I don't touch them until the next year. Like, no, don't stop doing that. You only get a certain amount of edge, and every time you edge it, you're taking some off. So unless you have a ride board or something with an extra thick edge, you're getting very close to that stop, like you're running out of edge.
Yeah. All right. Travis Hensley, I just got the Captain Megadeth 161 wide. Should I wax it before the first ride or not? I've heard both ways are better. What's your opinion? No, rip it out of the wrapper, detune the edges if you absolutely have to. Go rip it. The structure on that base is amazing. Like that.
It also comes with great factory wax on it. Like they have great, just ride it until you see it get chalky and then wax it. But keep that structure on there as much as you can.
Shugstacks, can you guys know any boot brands that go to a Mondo point 31.5? All I can ever find is Solomon. I'm in the UK, but would take a gamble on importing from the US. I mean, they're out there. The problem is most shops don't stock them.
What size is that in the US?
Like that's 12 half, 5 or 13. So it's like it's hit or miss.
Solomon all day. Solomon makes a 12.
But that's what he said. He's got that. He wants something that's not.
Oh shit. Sorry, my bad.
Like you might be able to find a ride or a K2 with that. Burton should be pretty prevalent with it for the US too, but you know, you're gonna have to listen.
Because Ride, I believe, has a 12.5 in certain ones, certain models.
Yeah. Okay. From JP, what are your top picks for true twins to take across the whole resort, except for the Spring Break Resort Twin? Why you gotta take that out? Buy a Spring Break Resort Twin. So the three that come to my mind that I wouldn't have a problem with: Nidecker Gamma APX. That board's absolutely amazing for that. The Rome Agent or Agent Pro probably would go with a Pro in that situation. Just faster glide, better structure, a little higher end, and they're a little more responsive to it. And the Yes Greats, also asymmetrical again. So what about you, sir?
I was going to go with the Yes Basic on ink.
That's another, that's a good one.
Yeah, that was the first one that came to my mind. Yes Basic on ink. And then, did you say a bench warmer?
I did not, but that's another good one.
Yep. I would go with the bench warmer, and then trying to think what else I rode this year that I was like, Nitro Beast. That thing can go everywhere, and it'll hold an edge really well. Would I take it into fresh powder? No. But everything else it'll handle.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one's aggressive for most people, so.
Xander DePayne, a.k.a. Mr. Nicholas Rage. Just living in like a rat in a cage. Is there any significant difference in this year's Black Snowboarder to Death as compared to last year? Graphic.
Yeah, color.
Color.
Got a
Yeah,
sweet smoky skull on the bottom now. That's it.
Okay. Jack Marshall, any park tow ropes in Colorado? Thirsty Thursday, what does Cooper have for park features for a rad dad body? There's no park at Cooper.
There's a hidden park at Cooper.
There's no park. There's side hits, there's trees, and there's the rope. There's the T-bar of death on the backside where we get to watch who are the men and who are the children. Thirsty Thursday is a throwback to like no amenities. That's the best part about it. But in terms of rope tow parks in Colorado, there's the Frisco Adventure Park. They're going to have a rope tow this year with a park, and I think the tickets are $20 or $25, and they'll be open till 9:00 at night. And then there's that park out in Windsor now, that like community park. That's just like, I don't even know if it has a rope. I think it has a rope tow, and it's like just features, and that's it. It might have a magic carpet. I honestly don't know, but
and then you can hike Ruby Hill.
Yes, you can hike Ruby Hill, and then you can come to Copper and ride the chairlift and stare at the magic carpet right next to the park that is just perpetually getting buried with snow, and go, why don't you turn this on in the winter?
Yep.
Copper was supposed to get a rope tow for part of Central Park in the flats. So for all the gyms after Shack Jump.
I could see that, and I've thought about it before, and I've also been like, that's a lot of work. Like rope tows
they'd
are
have
a
to have
lot of
someone
work.
to watch it, so they'd have to have two people running it, plus someone that would come in and relieve them in that. Frankly, my theory is you put the rope tow at the top on the mini pipe.
Yeah.
And all day, I just don't unstrap and I just ride the mini pipe like it's the fucking 90s all over again for me.
I mean, honestly, it would make more sense in that Rad Dad Park up there to me than it would like after Shack Jump. Like, because that way you could just keep all the kids and all like the Rad Dads all in that zone right there and not have to have them go down and go into Peace Park and shit like that. Like, but that's funny that is like, what's a Cooper Park situation? Because I don't know if you remember, but me and Belowski the whole time the first day we're like, there's a park here. We just got to find it.
There hasn't been a park there since I was in my like late 20s.
Well, someone told us there was a park, and we just kept trying to look for it the whole time. Like, I think I see some features over there. Like, nope, that's nothing. Like, but yeah, the whole first day we were like, "There's a park here, dude. I'm gonna slide some grease here, or grease some rails." And like, there's nothing. There's nothing at this fucking place.
Yeah,
we could bring our own features.
We got a super chat from Beziums. TC should really meet the Pacific Northwest Orca Dorcas with their step-ons. I want him to have an Avern Buckhouse level rant.
I mean, dude, I see him all the time here. Like,
they're here
all the time.
I had a guy try to tell me all about how great it was while riding up Super B and how he watched this review from this angry guy and how I recommended all the, and like sitting there, I was like, oh, really? Really? And as I'm getting off, I was like, by the way, that's my fucking YouTube channel. I would never recommend those bindings. And you bought the 159. That's too big for you. So.
There's a pot of orcas out there always.
All right. Alex, why does Nitro make their edges in 4 pieces? Their boards are awesome, but that seems odd. They do this. Had my last squash start to delam on the tail right where the side edge, not the tail. Because literally, do you know how hard it is to bend those edges on those tails? You can't. So you have to snip it and put it in that way. Like you're talking about it. Because if you go look at any of their popsicle stick shapes, they just have the normal seam piece. That's it, the one-piece seam. It's because of that. Honestly, if anything, they just shouldn't put an edge on the inside of that little nubby swallowtail on the squash or the tip. You just seal it. That's what they should do.
I would. Yeah, I mean, you don't need an edge there. I don't know why they do it.
Yeah. Andrew Gomez, a.k.a. Diego. I got a Capita Super DOA for my second season snowboarding. Came from a few years of skateboarding. Is that a bad idea to daily it? Hope you like your learning curve.
Yeah, you figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, what doesn't kill you only makes you stronger, unless it's AIDS. That's something that you beat before will kill you.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's your Magic Johnson.
City Star JC, with Nideck or Supermatics pair remotely well with a Rome Party mod or a Spring Break Resort Twin, or should I grab a softer binding and stop being a lazy fuck and keep bending over? The whole saying of if you don't use it, you lose it. Yeah, that's the whole thing with being able to bend over and snowboarding. We use a lot of core muscles, so bending over is actually really good for you. Like you guys that give up on it in your late 30s through your 50s and try to come back to it, you can spot you guys because the way you ride so rigid in your back movements that you're actually counterintuitive for normal fluidity and keeping your power when you drive. Like for two boards that are soft, well, one's a flat to rocker. They're both medium, middle of the road. That's not a binding, like that's going to give you the most performance out of it. Like, sorry, that's just the fact of life. If you're not disabled or you're not having mobility issues, I would strongly, and you ride more than 5-10 times a year, I would strongly recommend that you go for a regular binding. That's my takeaway on it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. MP Live, between the 151 ride Super Pig and the 57 wide deep fake, which one would be better in POW indoor trees? I'm going deep fake all day. The Super Pig's going to be more nimble in tight trees. I'll give you that. If you get into low angle POW, it's going to be better through and through. But if we're riding like a foot of snow and we're going from steep to flat and you want something that can handle it, I'm going with the deep fake all day.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, depends how much you weigh. Because, I mean, I would probably ride both of those in like the 57 and the 151 and probably the deep fake, I think, because of the setback on it. Like, I think you're right on that one for sure.
I like this question, but it's for Carlo, and he's asleep on the couch now. Carlo question, how do we get more Pinoys into shredding for the sake of riding and not just as something to post on Instagram? You got to bring them with you, man. You got to bring them and you got to show them the culture and the community. I want you to bring a whole goddamn herd of them to Thirsty Thursday, Josh. It's on you. You're going to load them up in that two-wheel drive Sequoia of yours, and you're going to rally all the way from Southern California to Ski Cooper. Don't forget your chains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're not going to make it.
Yeah. And you need to bring some balut, too, so when we go to Copper, we can throw it at influencers. But yeah, no, man, if you want to get more people in there, like the whole diversity thing, like it was funny. I had this conversation with someone and I was like, people are like, it's not diverse. And the whole time I'm like, all my friends are minorities. That's who I grew up with. I was like, what? It's like, my experience is different. Bring them in, man. Show them what it is. Let them help change your community and your culture around it. And like, don't let them come in and think, oh, we got to change everything. Be like, hey, come on in, hang out. Let's talk. Let's do this. That's what it is, man. Show them what the kooky ass shit is, and then go from there. Tad Stahl, I'm fucking stuck on I-17 at Burlington, Colorado. What a Gilson. You Goldson yourself. You're Goldson. I hate like anytime I have to go through Burlington, I'm like, oh my God, this place is awful. And that's where my dog's from. That's where I picked my dog up. The last time I stopped there to let her out to pee and get gas, she put her hackles up and started growling and everything, peed as quick as she could, then hopped it right up on the tailgate of the Volvo and got in the thing. And I was like, you know where you're from and you don't even want to be here. Oh, speaking of Goldson from Mr. Dude, can you guys explain why the 3D of Gilson is that much worse than Battalion Signal Jones? Oh, where's my visual aid?
Isn't it in the kitchen? Or is it in there?
Oh, no. I have a section of a Goldson.
Oh, okay.
Like, so All right. So this is the Gultson right here, right? And so over here and here, one, it's not equal on the. This is an older one. Supposedly they fixed this, but their core milling is off, so the 3D is off on this. But the big thing is you can't stone grind finish this piece here or here. So you're basically belting just the center section. This is still crusty and shitty on there. Like they've never been able to figure that out. And I remember back in the day when I asked them, I was like, so what if you need to like stone grind this or structure it? And they're like, you can't. So right there, it's inferior. The other thing is they run this so far up the board. You're sitting on this pad and you're basically losing your whole edge. They're like, yeah, it's loose, but they're like, but there's control. It's like there's no fucking control. So like, let's see. Shit. I took the damn it, did I take the signal out of here? Give me 1 second.
I got a Jones behind me. So yeah.
So yeah, okay. So like we'll go back to this. So this is the signal one right here. And so Jason Keynes designed this basing it off the old Omatic BS Tech. And the BS Tech, like you could tune it, it just took a little more work. This, they mellowed it out, they made it hourglass, and then it tapers back in at the contact points here. So you don't lose that contact point at all. So you have edge bite on this, right? So like Goldson here, you lose that edge bite on it. You keep it with this. The other thing is like the Gilson thing. I remember when they came out and they were like, we're the revolutionary. We reinvented the wheel, blah, blah, blah. And like I showed it with one of my friends that's been designing since the 80s. And he goes, Dynastar did this on skis in the late 70s. And they did it with one model and it was gone the next season. And I was like, they weren't original. And you like look at it and their whole marketing on it and everything. It's just basically, it's so counterintuitive to everything they do. Their quality is ass. Everything they do is just ass. And it's like, if you're going to do 3D, you want to make it work. Like with Battalion, the way that it comes down at the contact point, it depends on the model. You still have control if you lose that bite at the contact point if it's really aggressive, but it brings it back underfoot. So you can actually ankle steer with the torsional flex. They've never been able to master that, like, because you're elevated the whole time. You just lose it completely. And that's the problem with it.
Yeah. That, and they have some models where they just literally press a pair of skis into it, and then you just have two ski runners like going through it. It's impossible to tune. But like you said,
I've never seen that one.
Oh yeah, that one's a real bitch and a half because they put the skis so close together that you can't actually put a scraper sideways and scrape it. You have to like cock it to the side, and then you just end up jamming straight into the side of the ski. And you're like, all right, we'll just fill that with wax. But like, yeah, they make that kind of one too, and you're like, that is the worst piece of shit ever. Like everybody else has figured out the 3D design. Like you said with Battalion, they haven't figured out. They have like 4 or 5 different versions. Some of them
11.
aren't my favorite. 11. Okay. They have
Maybe
11
12.
different versions. Some of them aren't my favorite. Some of them are great. Like, but they've all figured it out where they figured out how to make it smooth on the transition, where Golson's like, let's just attach this to this and just call it a day. We'll just add an extra layer. And it doesn't actually help anything. It makes you a worse snowboarder. It actually terrifies the shit out of you when you try to get it on edge because you feel it rock over and you're like, I should be on edge here, and I'm not. Like,
you don't have the edge control, you don't have the stopping power for it. It just creates more problems than it's worth. Like the maintenance on that thing, like it doesn't work. Like it's the equivalent of a guy that was a middle school, not even high school, middle school technology teacher playing around with AutoCAD, thinking he could reinvent the wheel. The dude doesn't even fucking snowboard. He's a skier. He'll tell you that. Like, dude doesn't even fucking snowboard. He's just a fucking poser. It's a bunch of posers, like that company, and they just make such shit. Their quality is such shit. Every time I see one in the wild, And someone's like, I paid $580 for this. And I'm sitting here like, why?
See,
You
that's what I'm
could have got
saying.
something so much better.
That's what I'm saying. The people with the dope snow jackets, they only spent $100 on it, but somebody spent $580 on that thing.
No, dude, dope snow is more expensive than you think. The
Oh,
pant
yeah.
and jacket combo is almost $500.
Oh shit!
Their cheapest,
What are you
their
people
cheapest
doing?
pant is $179.
Oh man, you get a pair of air blasters for cheaper than that.
I know. You can get the
They're
686. Was it the standard pant or whatever from 686 for $150? So,
Yeah. And I think the Smarty is like under 200. I don't know.
it might be right around 200. So, yeah. From Nar, add some riding footage to your board reviews, your hosers. No, doesn't do anything. We're trying to
No.
inform you. We're not trying to entertain you. If you want to be entertained, go watch any of the videos down in the description of this. Also, for anyone paying attention, I did post earlier this week every video that we've posted already up to the season, like all the other snowboard movies. So you can go check that out.
Mm-hmm. You can come to Thirsty Thursday and see us ride.
Yeah. Might even try to enter the speed contest.
Yeah.
We got a radar gun. Hey, Angry and Arthur. Thanks for the recommendations last week. Ended up going with the Ride Deep Fake. I got it yesterday in Super Stoke. What bindings would work best between the Now Select Pro or the Team Pros? Team Pros.
Yeah.
I'm going Team Pros
I would,
on that.
As much as I like the Now Select Pro, I think the Team Pro would probably fit it better, honestly.
Yeah.
It's a damper binding too.
All right. Let's see. From Couch Potato Inc. Going to start riding this year. Wanted the best, so picked up the Lib Apex Orca. Now I'm trying to decide between Burton Step-ons or Clues. What would you guys recommend?
It's got to be
Clearly
a joke.
Clue. They
It's gotta
cost
be a
more. You know, I mean, you know, remember, if you buy the best, you'll ride like the best. There's a lot of people. And then when you sell it next year, someone's going to get a screaming deal on it on Facebook Marketplace.
But you're going to want to go and pick up those Carbon Supermatics. Really get the best.
Yeah. Beach Bum Snowboarder. Angry, your old stomping ground in the corporate mountains to the east are filled with... Oh, I know. I know all about it. You don't think I don't know? Nope. I have friends back there. What do you think of that? And I have to explain to them. I was like, it's fucking shit. Well, it's cheap. And I was like, you buy it right the first time. You don't have to buy it again the second time.
Dope snow is like a virus. Like you see it, and then you're like, oh my God. Once you've seen it once, you're like, it's just everywhere now. And then I think last year I didn't see it as much. So I think it's kind of tapering off, you know?
They oversaturated the market, blew it out.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone had problems with it blowing out. Like the thing is, I talked to one of you guys worked for their customer service in Canada and would handle their warranty claims. And he basically told me, he's like, we can warranty claim anyone's stuff up to 3 times per item. And we're still profitable because our cost on it was like $15 a pair or something stupid like that. So after 3 times, then with shipping and shit, it would start to come down. But realistically, and that's so what they do is they'd make people happy. But it's like, are you really happy when you go on vacation and you rip your pocket off the first time you use it? Who's visiting? Is that Travis?
We got Travis now.
Oh shit. We got another visitor today. It's a big day. It's a big day. We got Travis, the Jones rep. Travis, what can you tell us about Jones's 3D shaping on the base of their boards? Oh, yeah, that's right. You got headphones. He can't hear. You're muted.
There we go.
There
Now
we
you can
go.
hear me.
Hey, buddy.
There we go. Hey, buddy. Question for you. What can you tell everyone about Jones's 3D shaping compared to Gilson's?
Okay.
Thrown you to the wolves.
So, well, I know our 3D shaping doesn't start till past the contact point, nose and tail, and then it progressively gets more. So you technically don't have an elevated contact point, where I think the entirety of the Gilson. Okay, yeah, there you go. The entire thing is elevated.
Yes.
Mhm.
But how does
I-
how does having it the way that you guys do it help with edge-to-edge control, powder flotation, and snow disbursement?
Yeah, so basically, you know, when you're riding a groomer, contact to contact, you have a fully flat snowboard, so edge hold, all of that is still there. But when you get into deeper snow, especially variable terrain, that elevated nose on the past the contacts helps you kind of weave in and out. It allows that board to transition a little bit better, especially on steeper terrain. And then also in deeper snow, the snow is able to kind of come out the side a little bit easier. So you get more glide and less resistance. So it's a little bit more float.
Yes.
Does that
Factually true.
explain it?
That explains it. I mean, I knew what I needed to say. I wanted the rep to tell the people
Sure.
because you're the experienced man. Hopefully Coolin's watching this right now.
Hopefully it is. Shout out Coolin.
Shout out
That
to Coolin
dude is a
Darcy.
hard worker.
He is a hard worker. That man's got to wrangle the Helgesons.
Dude, yeah. That's
I-
a full-time
all
job in
good.
itself.
Dude, it is.
So Travis, what else can you tell people that might be on the fence about buying a Jones snowboard and why they should look at the company?
Great question. Sustainability is a huge effort of ours. So, you know, fully recycled steel edges, ABS sidewalls, reducing, reusing overall. And then also we throw a lot of tech features into every single one of our decks. So no matter the price point, you're going to get beveling, you're going to get traction tech. You're mostly going to get V-Core on everything. So a lot of tech on all of the features. Yeah.
We got that new re-up program.
Got the new re-up program. So yeah, we're using old snowboards and putting them into new ones, and again, just reducing, reusing. But I would kind of say the technology piece of it.
Sorry.
Oh, we might be losing Averin. Did we lose him? We might have.
I'm
Is
gonna
this how it happened?
Oh, there it
It's
is.
gonna be okay. Oh no, it's okay. I knew I was gonna come back. It's okay. Sorry, lost me for a minute there. You know, probably a squirrel chewing on my router in the other room or something.
You guys
Either
have
that
so
or
many
Lowe's
phones.
molesting.
This is
you know.
so rad.
Did we lose him again?
So,
We might have.
well, you know, we're here for
There
you. No, I'm here. I'm here. Don't worry. It's okay. There's a slight delay. I'm going in and out, but I'm here. I promise. I'm here. So we're good. Okay. Well, let's some more questions. So sorry, it's going in and out right now. From Richard Conway on Wax, how do you know actually the snow temperature? I stick my wiener in it.
That's the best tech.
I mean,
Your wiener
Stick
can
it
tell
right
you
in.
many things.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes you drag your balls on it, and if they get shrivel up inside, you know it's really cold.
But it's not as good of a reading as your wiener.
No, I mean your
No.
wiener is technically a meat thermometer.
Right.
there you go.
Yeah. Okay. From Adam Roush, Rad Dad thinking about pulling the trigger on an Academy Masters series. Any issue I should be worried about considering they share a factory with Never Summer? They decamber a little fast and they break in. They get softer a lot easier than other boards. That's one issue. The Masters is actually a really cool shape. It's actually an old Sims shape, and I really do like the way that like the shape itself rides. So, okay. Okay. From Beach Bum Snowboarder, does the Shred Foundation need volunteers too? I'm very close, but willing to do the drive. Yes, they do. They just put something out on Instagram. They're looking for, so they have a skate park up there in Albany now, but they are looking for chaperones and volunteers to help. So you can do it. Let's see. Okay. Ooh, from Jack Marshall, please clarify how much heel lift is okay. I want to size down to 10s from 10.5s, but my big toe starts to curl. Will the 10s break in enough? Any other recommendations? Travis, you know about heel lift. How much is okay?
Dude, you really shouldn't have any at all. I think the thing I always used to tell people is if you're standing flat-footed and you press down on your toes and your heel comes up, you'll be able to do that in the majority of boots. But if you keep a flat foot and flex your knee over your toes, if anything's sliding or moving in there, that boot is most likely too big for you.
Travis knows a thing or two about big boots.
I ran way too big of boots for way too many years, so
Yeah.
be paying
Travis,
for
what
that.
size boot are you in now?
I'm a 7 now.
And what did you used to ride?
9s. Yeah. For sure. Major difference.
Like I said, so I've known Travis since he was 11 years old, and kind of inherited him from Woodward when he was one of my campers. And, but I remember the first time we ever went snowboarding at Breckenridge, you were like dead halfway down the first run. And little did we know your feet were just going like this in your
Yeah,
boots.
dude, the outside of my calf was so cramped that it was like a brick.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yep. So, but so depending on the boot, though, to go back to this guy's original question, like if it's curled like this, it's good. If it's curled like this, you're fucked. That's going to require you elevating the heel, molding. It's a lot of work to do that. But if like it's just a little bent and you're really trying to go for that performance fit, you can get away with that.
Well, also, I want to know is if he's standing straight up in the boot, is that when it's curled? Or if he's got his knees bent, is his foot flat then? Because that's like how I judge it. Like, because I measure an 11 and a 10 3/4, and I wear a 10. And like when I'm standing straight up in my boot, my toes are curled. But when I like get in my snowboard stance, they pull back and it's just like flush at the end.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing is like when you're done up in the boot and you're flexing your knee over the end, it should either be just lightly touching or slightly pulled back. And then if you're just, standing straight up, it should be driving in. From Rough, Chicago, Malorton drive-bys, terrible place. What about a drive-by Malorting? Travis knows about drive-by Malorting. Travis,
Yeah,
what do you think about Malort?
It's awful.
What does it taste like to you?
It's got kind of like a minty, like a hint of cinnamon mint is what I would say.
Okay, that's different.
I haven't had one in a while, but that would be my take.
Next week.
Well, we don't have shooters in Malort in the county right now.
Oh,
So
no.
if anyone in Chicago wants to send me a couple packs of Malort shooters for demos for the reps, I greatly appreciate it. So
There's a
Travis,
shortage.
Got to import it.
smuggle it back across state lines. It's like Coors in the late 70s. Couldn't get it east
Yeah.
of the Mississippi.
Let's
Damn.
invest in that.
Getting the Lord across the country.
Yeah.
Snowboard rep / Malort rep.
Yeah. Rum runners.
They go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Malort is better than that. What's the stuff that Jake Burton always used to love?
Fernet.
Oh,
That stuff's awful.
What?
I would do them for
Fernet.
Malort.
Yeah, Fernet. If you're going to drink Fernet, one, it's an after dinner drink to help settle your stomach. And realistically, you should only do it mixed with certain types of cocktails. So,
Oh, interesting.
so cool.
from Vic Singh, haven't seen you cover any Gentum stick boards. Any reason? Yeah, they're hard to deal with to get stuff.
They're hard to get, and they make barely any of them.
Well, the other thing is, I'm literally worried that I would crack one of their $1,000 boards. They're fragile as fuck.
Yeah, that glass top sheet on it. It looks beautiful, but it's scary to flex that thing.
Well, I always think back to my friend's ex-wife. They bought a manta ray from Milo Sport and drove up to Powmau outside Utah, Salt Lake, and she was not an aggressive rider at all. She fell and hit like a soft mogul thing and like pushed through it, and it rippled the whole top sheet. First run of the day. So Alan like took it back that afternoon, and they were like, "Hey, what's up, man? You need us to like wax the board?" And he's like, "No, check this out." And they're like, "If it was anyone else, we would probably question it, but it's literally you, and you buy so many boards. Like, we know you didn't do this on purpose. And they're like, yeah. So, whew. Okay. From Kripla, how does the Capita Indoor Survival compare to the DO? We need Larney in here. Where's
Just with-
Larney when you need him?
He's in Breck.
I know he is. I saw him today. Had a nice chat with him. Helped him
Yeah.
move stuff out of his truck. It was great. You know, friends helping friends. But so the big thing is the camber profile, the side cut, and the flex. The indoor survival, in my opinion, is a little stiffer than this indoor or than the DOA, and it's just a better ride all the way around. TC loves the DOA.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Favorite board.
Favorite board. Next
Favorite
to the
board.
Skate Banana.
Skate Banana and DOA. It's his quiver of two. So, but if anyone's got questions for Jones, why don't you guys get him in? Let's get this. Let's get Travis answering some questions. It's been a year since he's been on the live stream.
I think it has, huh?
It has. Last year at Locals Day, we had you on.
We did.
Sounds right.
So, you know, like. So,
Hey, Herbie, stop eating the desk. Leave it.
what's he doing?
Eating the desk.
Oh,
Chewing in the corner.
just it's okay. Baroness is charging the door, barking at things. So it's all good. Okay, let's see. By the way, Ryan Hansen wants everyone to know that Brighton officially opens next Thursday. That's right. Brighton,
Sick.
Michigan. Mount Brighton.
Mount Brighton.
Not Brighton, Utah.
You want to pull up a chair?
I'm good.
Okay.
You sure? You good?
His knees are back to being full health.
Oh my God, Travis, you're so young and healthy. Okay, so we got this super chat from Adam Kanowski. 250-pound rad dad, board that has pop, not too stiff. What do you have for him from Jones, Travis?
250-pound rad dad board that has pop and not too stiff.
Yeah.
I would say, honestly, the Mountain Twin, it got an update this year, so it's way snappier. So load it up for ollies. It's going to respond a lot quicker. So that one's a pretty good one. The other one I would think would be an Aviator. It's going to be on the stiffer side, but it doesn't ride as stiff as the core is. That's got plenty of snap. And Tweaker too, while I'm at it. The Tweaker full camber, if you can load up a full camber contact point, that thing will respond.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I think that's a good one. I'd look at like a K2 Hypnotist because I think at your weight, or even a Solomon Huck Knife would be another one. And I don't know. What do you have, TC?
I was thinking an algorithm because being 250, he's going to be able to flex that thing. It's not going to be crazy stiff for him.
Right.
Otherwise, I mean, also like a K2 Passport. Like, it's not going to be crazy stiff underneath foot or anything like that.
Yep.
So, a little directional action for him, especially being a rad dad. Probably not riding that much switch.
Yeah. So, you know, I think those are all some solid options for you. They shouldn't be too stiff.
Mhm.
Let's see.
Some good questions in this chat. I like this.
Oh, dude, they're there.
They are there.
From Micah Stovall, why does TC have Theodore from Alvin and the Chipmunks with him?
That's good. I like that.
Hey, man, you leave our little hairy hobbit friend alone.
Yeah, it's the cheeks, really. They're cute.
Well, it's the beard. It makes the cheeks more pronounced.
The beard?
It's really what it is.
Beard.
Oh, beard. I thought you said the beard.
It's Yukon Cornelius.
Hey, look who's here. Your guy's former boss.
Oh, he's got it on too.
Oh, yeah,
dude.
Trav. You know what's up. Great
Yeah.
shirt. We were having our annual wax party at Storm Peak Bus Stop next Friday. All proceeds go to SOS and a new shirt for Thunder Cheeks.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Sick.
I'm
I
all
gotta come
about
in and
this.
pick up
All right.
pictures.
So if you're in Steamboat next Thursday, next Friday, they're having their annual waxing party. So, you know, make sure you get a hot Brazilian from Bernie. He's very gentle. Yep. So, okay. Damn, we were out in the weeds. All right. We got a super chat here from Charles. Why is the Apollo's high back lean so steep?
Response.
Mhm.
That's an aggressive binding that aggressive rider is going to ride, and they're going to know how to bend their knees. And when they lean a heel side turn in, that's going to respond. No delay.
Mhm.
I like this one from Joe Gunn. Any plans to give TC his own Mercury colorway?
Yeah.
You and Coolin need to work that out.
Yeah.
It'll have flames on it.
It will have flames. It'll have little binding charms with certain
Yeah.
little things on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll have binding nuts instead of truck nuts. On a heel cup.
Yeah. Hanging from the high back.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, no, hanging from the heel cup. So
Oh, yeah.
So
So they
dangle in
They have
there.
to dangle.
Yep.
So when he goes a hard heel side carve, there's this weird little line, and that's just his nuts dragging. His meaty clackers, if you will.
The meaty clackers.
Oh my
Clackers.
goodness.
We love the meaty clackers around here. All right, super chat from Beziums. Travis, will you send me a 166 hovercraft 2.0?
Damn. If you can squat 225, we'll talk.
On one leg.
That's his warm up. You might want to go higher.
This guy?
This guy's
Yeah.
huge.
This
This guy's a
dude's huge.
Oh,
bodybuilder.
what, like 3 plate? Oh,
I would say probably a 455,
Oh, wow.
something like that.
He
Probably.
does strongman competitions.
Yeah,
Oh.
he's a strong man.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. He was the biggest guy at Thirsty Thursday last year.
Okay.
He was the one that was flexing that arrow knot and making it look like a jib stick.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
he rides a ride commissioner and it's still soft for him.
Damn.
He makes Curtis look small.
Damn.
And Curtis is a baby gorilla.
Yeah,
Good for you.
he's an actual gorilla.
All right. From Frank Schaefer, Dreamweaver, Earhart, or Hovercraft for kicking horse, 17-year-old intermediate advanced rider. So up there in Canada, riding POW.
Oh, okay.
So, but, you know, what do you think?
I would say Earhart, most likely. That's going to be the most versatile out of the three. You'll still get plenty of float, even though it is a twin, because it is set back slightly. You get that choroid up in the nose. If you're looking for more of a POW killer, the Hovercraft is going to be a good board for that, especially like trees, low angle POW, keep you up. But I would say if you're riding kicking horse all the time and you just want to be able to bop anywhere and have a board that does it, go Earhart.
All right. We got a question here from Hunter Gynep. What's the riding difference between the Tweaker and the Tweaker Pro?
So the biggest thing is the Tweaker Pro has more camber. So the Tweaker has about 4 millimeters of camber and the Tweaker Pro has 6. So you're going to have to put more energy to move that camber, but you're going to get a little bit more edge hold, a little bit more snap and response. You get choroid in the nose and tail. So the swing weight, the board overall is going to be lighter as well. Also ups the speed limit because any chatter that happens in the tips is going to be eaten up. And lastly, there's no V-core milling on the Tweaker Pro. So having a full traditional thickness throughout that thing is going to just snap and drive you in and out of turns much more. So overall, a little bit better carving, a little bit more snap, a little bit lighter.
Mm-hmm.
All right. From Bart Simpson said, hot wax party? Will that make my meaty clackers extra smooth? Where's Bernie to weigh in on this?
Smooth as eggs.
You have to rip it off, though. That's how you get it. Remember that. That's the most important step.
From Joe Fossity, what Jones binding should I look at coming from the Rome Cleaver?
I'm not familiar
Probably
with
the Apollo.
Probably the Apollo, full wrap metal binding.
Oh, okay.
Probably the Apollo.
Apollo.
It's the stiffest binding that and most responsive binding that Rome makes. So
Okay. Apollo then for sure.
And I just want to give a shout out to the mobility duo, Mark and Sarah, baby Dawson up there in Oregon. You guys, Mountain will be opening soon. They're saying shout out to all the rad dads out there. Thanks for all the industry expertise. Yeah, well, you know what? Thank you for making sure the rad dads are still mobile.
Me and
So
Travis
any of you guys
actually
are
send each
struggling
other-
with stretches like Travis.
I don't struggle with stretches. Don't do that.
We send each other their stuff all the time. Be like,
Good.
maybe try this one for your hips or your knees. And then, I was doing their workouts yesterday.
Nice. From Alex Kimmel, yo, Avern and TC, I have the Ride C6 bindings for 2 years now, but I hate the heel strap. Can I replace for a more comfortable ones from another brand? You can do anything you want. The big thing is just making sure that you know how to use a drill and power tools if you need to customize, and you understand that you might be going to the hardware store to get the right washers and bolts.
Yeah, I would probably say try to stick with the ride strap, like go with the
Bump up
C8
to an
strap
8 series, yeah.
or a 10. The 10 is going to be softer than the 6 series is, then it's going to have more padding to it. Curtis actually takes his C6 strap and puts it on his 10s so he gets more response out of it, and then he gets more comfort out of his 6s. Curtis is also a psycho, so you know.
Right. From Jason for Travis. Having known Avon for so long, will you confirm that he is or is not Scotty Whitlake in discussion? I still have all my teeth.
That's a deal breaker right there.
Yeah.
I'm not going to confirm or deny that, though.
But I still have all my teeth.
There's such thing as dentures. I have them. No, I'm kidding.
You mean you had them?
I had them.
Travis had Cryo Chronicle, the blah. You had the same shit that Dustin from Stranger Things had in his teeth. Was it cryo, like where they didn't come in your incisors?
Yeah, I've never heard the name, but yeah, I didn't even have the bone up there either.
Oh, Jesus.
It was a process.
And BZMs wants you to know, Travis, that he presses almost 100 overhead.
Kilograms, that is.
That's why I wanted you to understand that you needed to pick a higher number. You set the bar too low. You now owe this man a 66 hovercraft 2.0.
Wow. Respect.
He is gonna pick you up at Thirsty Thursday in your snowboard gear and squat you on the rope toe. Like,
I'm down.
on the T-bar. He's just gonna put you on his shoulder and his wife on the other and just hold on with his teeth.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Let's see. Okay. All right. From VKMP, Travis, having known Avon for so long, will you confirm that he has a skullet or is it CGI?
It was real once.
Travis has seen the many iterations of the skullet.
Yeah. It definitely was real
I think
once.
when you met me, my hair was like down to here somewhere.
It was very long.
And then then you had really long hair.
Yeah, we had opposites. Yours was straight. Mine
Yep.
was very curly.
It was. All right. Let's see. Let's find something. All right. From Dan M. What Jones boards are best suited to typical Midwest conditions? Mind Expander Twin is the one that catches my eye the most.
Okay. I mean, the Mind Expander Twin is super surfy. It does have a little bit of extra traction tech bumps to compensate for how much rocker and beveling there is. So that wouldn't be my first go-to. I would probably say the tweaker. If I was to go to the Midwest tomorrow, I would take a tweaker with me. Having the full camber for the edge hold and the stopping power, and then most likely hitting rails in the Midwest, would want kind of that softer, parkier twin. So I would go tweaker.
Yeah. I was thinking a mountain twin or
Mountain
even a
twin.
rally cat.
Oh, really? That's so soft.
Yeah, I mean, you're in the Midwest, dude. You're probably living on
True.
a tow rope. You probably want it, like
True.
nice and soft like that. So that's what I would think.
This might be a biased answer, but Hayes wants to know what company this year put out the best board offerings overall. Who's on top covering freestyle, free ride, all mountain, etc. I mean, Jones literally has something for everyone now. Literally something for everyone, from directional twins to true twins to everything that's got taper on it, carving, everything in there. Like, really impressed with that. Capita's pretty damn good. So is Ride. K2 could do a little better, in my opinion, but
Yeah.
that's me. Yeah, let's see. Ooh, I like this one from Mr. Dell 29. With the Jones 3D nose, will it be hard for me to transition to traditional camber or camber 2.0 if I'm so used to it?
No, I don't think so. Kind of like I was saying earlier, that 3D beveling doesn't happen until after the contact point. So you're used to what a fully flat snowboard will feel like on specific riding terrain. So transitioning over to a full camber, traditional camber deck, the balance, the knowledge, the board feel will all be the same.
Let's see. I like this one from Scott Hollinsworth. Lord, tastes like I'm taking a shot at 90s potpourri dish.
Oh.
Not proper spelling of potpourri. It's potpourri. But
I mean, he's not wrong though.
and this is just creepy from Xavier Mills. How much money to get Trav and TC to rub mustaches and kiss?
Damn, homie. You can't put
Damn.
us on the spot.
Yo, this ain't an OnlyFans loot
Yeah.
stream.
That requires
Right.
a subscription.
Okay, we'll take this one from Joe Gunn. Oh, where'd it
No.
go? Sorry. There it is. For Thirsty Thursday, is it better to stay in Frisco or Silverthorne, Dillon? I literally, you're talking about 2 miles difference. Like,
Probably
you get
cheaper.
off the highway and you come down Silverthorne to the right, Dillon to the left. If you stay on the highway and get off at the next exit, that's Frisco. Literally 2 miles difference. So you're not really worried about driving anything extra. So
Mhm.
I wouldn't worry about that. Okay. Let's see.
There was a comment in here earlier about me being shorter in person, smaller in person.
Oh yeah, rough. Where'd
Which-
that go?
I thought that was awesome. Shout out to all the short kings out there.
Which is funny because Ruff's not tall either. So
No, you and him are about the same height.
That's awesome.
From Davis T, looking at picking up the Rome Freaker. Do you think it can handle the whole mountain? Fuck yeah, I do. Love that board. That thing is so good this year. I like this one from Snowboard Karen. Can you imagine Avern bombing with a selfie stick in his hand? I would beat people with it. Travis can attest to this. I would literally I would use it like a mace.
Didn't
Where I
you
would
used to
just
have
hit
one
people
back in the
with
day
it.
though?
I mean, well, we did when we were filming Parks and Rec. If I had to do follow cams and freeway and shit. Which
I guess it wasn't
there's nothing
selfie.
like watching your friends go to hit like a 50-foot jump first thing in the morning and you're just guinea pigging behind it and like, please don't fall on the landing or I'm going to kill you.
no.
So
I used to go find a
Yeah.
stick in the woods and use that for a selfie stick, and you just zip tie your GoPro to it so you can get the shot for your friends. That's what we used to do in Minnesota.
Also,
Sticks
this
everywhere.
is too funny from Luke Chernowski. I forgot that Luke won a snowboard from us this summer. So he got a snowboard and 1/6 of a Goldson. I sent him the nose from the one I cut off. I was like, it was just sitting on the floor. And I was like, yeah, why not? I'll throw this in the board box for him.
What is a Golson?
Gilson.
Oh, you guys
Golson,
just
we
sleep
call it
weird?
Golson.
Oh, okay.
We don't like to
They
get mad.
paid for Buckhouse to come out to their factory and make a video. And so he posted a video called Goldson Warehouse, WEAR House Tour. Goldson Warehouse. Like they like you
Sick.
couldn't fucking proofread the title? Ugh.
Oh, no.
Ugh. And just so everyone knows, Ski Cooper realistically has 1 to 2 real side hits. We will fix that at Thirsty Thursday. Okay, we'll take this one from Wallabeezy 360. Found a good deal on last year's Arbor Draft Camber. Thoughts for my teen kid for second board coming from a banana. Intermediate all mountain wants to get into free. He'll be fine.
Yeah.
That's a good board to learn on. Super soft. It's forgiving,
It is very forgiving.
you know.
All right,
Okay.
homies, I'm gonna hop off, but remember to like and subscribe.
Come to Locals Appreciation Day tonight. You can still buy your tickets online for the next 2 hours.
Yeah, and you
Mhm.
can see how short I am. There you go.
He'll wrestle you outside in the snow. All right, from S. Scott 1986. In the distant future apocalypse, who out of the three of you will thrive and who's getting eaten by the cannibalistic Swifties? Travis will be the first to die.
Yeah. Probably.
He's too cuddly. People will think he's an Ewok, and then they'll realize that Ewoks are nothing but fat little pandas, and pandas have tender meat.
Yep. I mean, all of my neighbors don't really live here, so I have like 10 houses within a block's radius to take over. So I'm gonna have a fortress if that ever comes to it. I've already planned this out. You have little watch houses.
Yeah.
Movie
I
trailer.
live downtown in Breckenridge. I'm going on a murder spree.
You're gonna be like Danny McBride, and this is the end, just like leader of the cannibals. Got Channing Tatum on a chain.
I've watched so many apocalypse movies and stuff. I'm ready for this. You got 6 months right at the start of the apocalypse of easy killing and hard living because you got to figure everything out. After that, the living gets easier, but the killing gets harder because people that have made it the 6 months are a little more crafty.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Ugh. Let's see. Anyways, let's see how we're doing with the poll. Have you gotten out this year? We got 15% at yes, 78% of you at no. 1% of you are the White Ribbon of Death Crusaders, and 7% of you are fighting the Snow Juggalos. 371 votes. Proud of you guys. That's the best. So, I think that's good. But anyways, guys, we've been here about 2 hours. I think you got 2 guests today, which was really weird. So,
double guest day.
Yeah. So anyways, I think we're going to get out of here. We got to go get dinner together, and then we're going to the movie premiere. So if you're in Summit County and you haven't yet, swing into Underground, get your tickets. They're $25. They're playing 6 movies at the Riverwalk, or you can go to undergroundsnowboards.com, buy it. We're going to be there tonight. Might even have some free stickers for you guys. So, yeah. But thank you again for everyone that tuned in, and we'll see you next week.
Later, guys. Thanks.